you called out here in the book is about conflict management. It's not just for professionals, but it's starts at the right age from the kids. So how do we deal with conflicts in terms of even feeling sorry and being apologetic on some actions which you inadvertently caused, right? It was an accident where you ought to say sorry and apologize to your friend, otherwise you might lose your friendship. So how do we deal with such situations, being apologetic as well as conflict management?
Well, if you've done something wrong and you realize you've hurt someone's feelings, as soon as you recognize that you've done something wrong, you need to apologize. It has to be a sincere apology, not just, oh, sorry, or I was just kidding. No, it has to be real. You have to recognize and own the damage that you've done to the other person. That's the first step. Then you probably need to do some deep thinking. What was going on with me when I did or said?
Self-analysis.
Yes, and no one's, look, I don't even think a 6-year-old is too young to think about this. Just play it back in your mind. Yes, it seemed like a joke, but on some level, I truly believe that we are very tuned into each other. And especially if you know the other person, you know what is likely to get them upset. So you may fall back on this, oh, it was just a joke, but in truth, there was a part of you, maybe, that was trying to get in a little dig there for something that maybe you thought they did to you to get back. So whatever it is, own up to it. Yes, the truth is, I felt a little jealous when you were spending time with that other friend over there and not with me. So yeah, I was trying to hurt you a little bit. And I did that, and I'm really sorry. Now, the next step is the step that most people don't take. A plan of action for the future.
The corrective action.
Exactly.
Okay.
The next time I'm feeling jealous when I see you with somebody else over there, I will do A instead of B, because B is what I'm apologizing for right now. A might be a different way. Maybe I will come and talk to you privately and say, you know what, I'd like you to spend some time with me as well. I'm feeling a little jealous. I'm wondering if you like this other friend better than me. Tell me what's going on. And then you have a conversation, which is much better than doing this kind of covert thing where you're, teasing them or insulting them and then backing off and say, oh, I was just kidding.
It's very interesting. I wish things are so easy like this. Even for adults, it's tough to say, hey, you know what?
Well, okay.
Let's talk about it.
I'm going to ask you a question now, Sheree. Why do you think it's so difficult for adults to be honest? And why? Very
simple.
Why?
We're all egoistic, and in some cases, we're all rational human beings. It looks like I'm trying to generalize it, but here is, why should I do this first? Why can't my friend or somebody do that? So the question is, why it's always me? It's somebody's fault. I don't want to apologize. It should be the other person to do it. So it's a question of me versus the other person. That's the ego.
Okay, but when you talk about a conflict, it takes two people to make a conflict. Okay, and we were talking about that before the apology part. So if you say a conflict is contributed by both parties,
right,
then why not acknowledge your part of it? And that way you're not taking responsibility for the whole thing, because you're not responsible for the whole thing, but you are responsible for part of it. So you might ask yourself, what did I do or say that contributed to what's going on right here?
True.
And it might be that I just kept my mouth shut when something was going on that bothered me. And I made it worse by not speaking up at 1 o'clock, because by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it got worse. If I had spoken up at 1 o'clock, then we could have nipped it in the bud and had 3 hours of peace and harmony rather than 3 more hours of conflict. So the agreement I will make with myself and to the friend is, when I get that little inkling of a feeling, I won't just stifle my feelings. I will tell you, hey, wait a minute, before this gets out of hand, let's talk about it.
That's right.
It's easier that way. Because you sweep things under the rug, that pile under the rug gets so big that everyone's tripping on it as they walk through it. And everyone's pretending, what? I don't see anything. But it's there.
No, I think this is good. conflict resolution is very important, and that's right. So even if it means to being apologetic at the end, that's fine. But first of all, you got to understand what's your part in that conflict. That's the key takeaway.
And I think the idea, the word conflict, I think is way heavier than it needs to be.
Right.
The truth is, people have differences of opinion all the time.
Yeah, we believe, right? Agree to disagree. I mean,
it's not. It could be little tiny things. It happens in the family all the time. So I'm heading out the door to go to school, and I'm wearing a light sweater, and Mom says, "No, it's cold out. You need to wear your jacket." And we get into a little tussle. We talk about it. That's a conflict. Okay.
Thank you. Good. So, dear listeners,